What's on your mind?
Well, actually, for a while now, I've heard you speak on relocating. And, I've been considering relocating as well, going off-grid. And my issue now is, I was considering Colorado. But Colorado has passed some really fucked up gun laws lately.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but the land is super cheap though.
Oh yeah.
5 acres for about $2,500. Mountain View, plus Colorado has the most water under the land.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking, you know what? I like the landscape. I like the fact that they have plenty of water. That would be a good place to go. Hit the fan. That would be something that would really interest me. But then, politically, you have to deal with some foolishness now. Now they're talking about putting a 15-round magazine ban or capacity. They're also talking about banning certain types of guns. I mean, even shotguns at one point. There's just crazy stuff going on out there. So, politically, that's something I have to consider as well. So, because I don't want to be anywhere where somebody's putting where I have less gun rights than I would in Michigan. That doesn't make any sense for me.
Another concern is also wherever I go, I don't want to be the only minority.
That's another issue I also brought up. Even if you do move, and something goes down, okay, you moved away from your family and all your friends. So what's good? Nobody really knows you there, and you don't really know anybody there. So if you get into trouble and everybody's panicking, who's gonna have your back?
Yeah, it's always the other person's fault when things go wrong. So having said that, I don't think it'll be a good idea at all to move in certain areas. But I've heard you also mention Alaska, which is pretty expensive.
Oh yeah, I lived there for a year and a half. I love Ketchikan, Alaska. It's huge. It's much bigger than what people think. The maps are very deceiving. Okay, much bigger than Texas. It's a big part of the United States. You wouldn't even know it. A lot of people think it's just cold everywhere there. It's cold in the middle of the state. Anchorage, the biggest city there, is twice as big as Flint. Really nice place. Really nice town. Actually, good nightlife. Good, good student college life going on there. But it gets really cold in the winter. And in Fairbanks, it's even it's up north. It gets even colder than that. But in certain places like southeast Alaska, where Sitka and Ketchikan are at, it rains a lot. It's more like a rainforest. So it's so big and so diverse in that sense. A lot of people don't understand that. The reason why I left Ketchikan is because, I don't like the idea of being on an island in an SHTF type of situation. I like the idea of being able to get the hell out of wherever I'm at.
Well, if anything, you probably would have been pretty good if you could go out basic things, considering that Alaska, everything has to be imported in, which is another concern. That's what makes things so expensive.
Yeah, because everything comes in on a barge when you're in Ketchikan. Everything comes in on. They just tow it in on something that floats, and they just bring it in that way. And that's how you get stuff there. And yes, everything is very, very expensive there. They pretty much get all their food from other locations. And in order to get food, you have to be like a hardcore survivalist. Although the island was pretty huge, so I guess you could go hunting.
Yeah, but like you said, no family, hardly any friends. So if you get injured or ill, you're pretty much fucked when it comes down to hunting.
Yeah, I mean, that's an issue. I think people underestimate the importance of friends and family in SHTF. A lot of people talk about heading out to the woods, I mean, that might be cool if you have family in the country, but if you're heading out to some area and you don't have anywhere to go, that you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for a bad situation. You don't know anybody out there. They don't know you. How are they going to respond when the shit's hitting the fan and all of a sudden you're going to show up? Who is this guy?
Yeah.
And then you left all your friends and family in the city, right?
Yeah.
It may be pretty bad there, but at least you knew somebody there. If you got cut there, if you broke your leg there, you would at least have your cousin or somebody help you clean the wound, or at least help carry your ass home. Now you're out somewhere, you're out by yourself and nobody knows you.
Yeah. Well, you know, because I see we both think similar, I was going to ask you, what will be the next best place in consideration to move to?
I don't really know. I don't really know because I haven't been to enough places. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to drive around the country and get to know different areas. I wanted to go to Tennessee. I wanted to go to Texas. I wanted to check those places out. You know, but it's going to be important to actually have some people that you know. You know, you don't want to just get somewhere and you don't know anybody there. That could be a challenge. So something to think about. Yeah. So I mean, so those are some areas I am looking at. Texas has a better economy than a lot of locations.
Well, I've heard Texas' economy is sucking a lot lately.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah. From what I heard, that was that the second or third state that was supposed to have like the best economy. Now it's like not doing all that great. So I'm in Philadelphia, and you know it fucking sucks. So having said that, I need to relocate, and I was just wondering, you know.
I don't know. I mean, how can you escape economic situation that's affecting the whole country? I mean, obviously, I'm hearing that North Dakota has a lot of good economic opportunities for mining and stuff like that. So you can make some pretty good money running. I don't know. Let's say running some type of equipment or something up there in North Dakota. There's a lot of opportunities, ferries, things like that. You can get good jobs there to pay well in North Dakota. Although there's not a lot of stuff to go shopping and buy stuff or whatever, but yeah, look into that, you know. And you know, I also been warned that it can get kind of rough. So you know, some people say it's like the Wild West in certain areas. Not that I'm saying that all of North Dakota is like that, guys. I haven't been there, so I don't know. Just relaying some of the things that people said.
It's mostly prairie land, and you have to remember that wind chill factor that comes through Canada comes straight through the Dakotas. And
Somebody put
it being prairie land, there's no trees, there's nothing to block it. So
I'm looking for a good place where it's not too much snow, because I love snow. I love the cold. I love the winter. But now that I've started to go into prepping, and I've actually spent some time outside in my tent in Alaska, outside in Michigan when it's cold. You know, I'm trying to rethink the whole, the whole. I love the snow. I love the cold. I really do. But can I really survive in something like that?
Absolutely. You won't stay a young man forever, you know?
Exactly. I mean, even if I were, you know, I'm used to being inside a warm house and then walking around outside in the cold for a few hours and then going back inside that warm house. when I sit outside in the tent or whatever and I have to sleep out there, I was out there in Ketchikan, Alaska, and it shouldn't have even been that cold, but it was raining, real raining. I had one of those. I carried a duffel bag, a really big black duffel bag that I got a really good deal off when I was working at Tungus Trading in a men's clothing store. And I was carrying all, as my first bug out bag, really. I was carrying all of this equipment. Like, I had the tents and all this stuff. And I'm just carrying it. Man, I'm telling you, it was like maybe 5 feet long. That's how long it was. Okay.
It had to be heavy too, cause
yeah.
This backpack tents are at least 5 pounds.
Man, oh my goodness, it was so much, and it was thick too. Okay, it was just packed with stuff. Wow. Oh, it was, and I got there, and I remember I was right on near the highway, or I don't want to call it a highway. It's a road on the side of the mountain, or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And you know, I set up, and I was high up. I wasn't close to the cliff, but I was high up, and man, the wind, it was just like, I mean, and it was so, and see, here's the thing, I worked so hard to carry all that stuff up that hill, because I walked up a huge, it was more than a hill, it's like 3 or 4 football fields, like just going straight up, okay? I had no problem walking it, right? I did it all the time. People say, "Oh man, you're a big guy, you walking that? That's something else, you know." But anyway, I walked it at that time, and I had that big ass bag. And by the time I got all the way up there, okay, when I got up there, I was sweating, right? Okay, yeah. So I set up the tent. I got everything going, right? And I started to lay down in there. But you know what?
What's that?
I didn't have any extra shirts.
Oh, no.
So it was really, really cold, and I was really, really wet, and it was raining and everything, okay? Learned a lot of lessons that way, and I tried to go to sleep out there. I tell you, it was like my bones were I swear I was out there for like 6 hours, and I could not go to sleep for anything. Now, I kind of sort of like closed my eyes and doze off, and I just started shaking like, I mean, it was awful. So I'm telling you, I love the cold, but you better have some serious survival skills if you're going to be living in an area where it's really, really cold. You know,
did you not have a heat source, like a propane tank with a burner? Or
how long is that going to last? Right now I do. I mean, but that would have been something else I would have had to carry with me. But I mean,
I would have saved your life, and believe me, I think we all have at least that one horror story of camping.
Oh, that was horrible. What'd you hear about Idaho? Some people are saying that Idaho is very racist or whatever. Not that I'm calling any state racist, because I haven't even been there. I don't know.
Well, I've not heard anything about Idaho. I've looked at Montana, Wyoming, and so far they're both looking good as far as these drones as well. Like less drones. Land is somewhat affordable. However, I don't want any land I have to continuously pay on. I want something I can pay off.
Yeah, exactly. Idaho sounds really cool in terms of, you know, the land, what's actually available. You know, I like the fact they have a Boise University around there as well. So yeah, at least there's some women around there. There's some. I mean, that's a whole other thing right there. But anyway, all right. Thanks for calling. I'm sorry I couldn't answer all your questions, but.
It's all right. I appreciate our talk.
All right. Take care.
Don't forget to add me.
All right.